Hi everyone and welcome back. You want to become a millionaire. I'm pretty sure that you attend all of the seminars on how to become rich quickly, all these motivational videos on YouTube. I mean, you even think that your TikTok is a great place to get financial education. Really? Well, listen up. After 6 years of running a business and making my first $1 million, I'm going to share with you 7 personal money tips that will change your own situation. And most importantly, I'm going to share stuff you probably won't find anywhere else. Because I'm not going to tell you, oh, don't buy Starbucks because, heavens forbid you spend $4 on a coffee because you can make it for 30 cents in your kitchen. Not true? I'm not going to give you any stupid scarcity-based advice that's built specifically for people that have no belief that they could actually go on and accomplish anything in life. No, I'm going to give you 7 practical things that you can and should implement from today. Just a quick reminder, if you're new to joining us today, please do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel to experiment financial freedom. Now, the first step, if you want to become a millionaire, is to stop drinking alcohol. I actually have a funny story that is originally from my uncle. In some situations, he always says, I have more than I need. I'm abundant. But it always used to serve a fun double purpose. In the first few years of starting my business, I was not drinking alcohol. Even today, whenever someone tried to get me to drink or tried to encourage me to drink, of course, I politely declined. And if it kept going, I used to joke with people that didn't know me. Listen, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I cannot drink. And of course, because I was young, they're like, you're lying. Because it was weird to them, having one friend who is not interested in alcohol. You're joking, they used to say. I have more than I need. I used to reply, my cup was always overflowing with alcohol. That's what I do to get out of this embarrassing situation. And it was funny because at that point they would always get super apologetic. So anyways, the reason I tell you this story is just because it brings back memories of the first couple years of my business. Of course, when I hadn't made $1 million yet. I hadn't made $1 million after tax. And this is important to mention. I wasn't a millionaire. And at that time, I was not drinking for 2 reasons. First of all, think about how much money people have wasted, how much money they have spent on useless drinks at the bar. So, not only from a financial perspective, and I told you earlier in this video, I think it is absolutely ridiculous that people are so dumb to think, oh, you know how I'm going to become a millionaire? I'm going to save all my $4 coffee. It's honestly some of the stupidest I've ever heard, and I guarantee you, any really high-level successful person will never give you advice like that. Whereas for alcohol, I would say don't spend money on it. If you are trying to become the person that you want to become, listen, that's $4 compared to $40, $80, or $200. Let's say it's a fun night. You buy 5 cocktails for yourself, $15 a pop, great, $75. Let's say you cover it for your friend. You get a little drunk, you get a little woozy, and you're like, you know what? I'll get this one. Great. You just wasted $150 on alcohol. And don't forget, you would have had to earn something closer to, depending on where you live, $200 to $300 in order to actually make that money, because the rest goes to tax. So, not only have you spent all of this money on alcohol, you have then woken up with less capacity to think clearly and less capacity to actually make your move to that millionaire status. Now, ladies and gentlemen, me at the stage that I'm at, I have a long track record in business. I have the most incredible team. I have employees. So luckily, if I want to have a drink here and there, it won't really affect me. It doesn't affect things when you get to a certain position in life. That doesn't mean that you should ever slow down. Be aware, you still need to put your foot on the gas. But what it does mean is that you can do things slightly differently. So, if you are serious about becoming a millionaire this year or in a few years, quit drinking now. Next, the best tip to become a millionaire is to learn a high income skill. And this is why I keep beating on that example of the $4 coffee. Because listen, people who are hell-bent on the whole saving thing, for sure, I respect it. I just personally believe that I don't want to live a life of scarcity. If that makes sense to you, go ahead and write in the comment, I want financial freedom. It will become reality after you finish watching this video. I don't want to live a life where I don't have faith in my abilities to make more money. I think if you're watching this video, you should understand the goal is to make as much money as humanly possible. And by the way, that doesn't mean you need to be an entrepreneur. That doesn't mean you need to be a business owner. If you join the right organization, not some old corporation, some stale company that's 50 years old, and all they care about is just doing things in a safe, predictable way. I mean, if you join a really good company, for example, there are people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars, almost nearly $1 million a year, because they provide even far more value than that to their company. And the way that you do that is by learning a high income skill. So whether that is sales, whether that is copywriting, whether that is content creation, whatever it is. But I can tell you, as I said, I have few employees now. And there's one specific person that comes to mind. If you are a wizard at Google Sheets and you can put together a very good analytics tracking, that is a high income skill. And that's something that is very valuable to most companies. But I feel like I made my point very clear, which is no matter what you do, whether you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, you own multiple big businesses with lots of employees like me, or you work in a company and you see a clear path to making a lot more money and you want to provide value to that company, which is why you are dedicated to learning high income and high impact skills. Whatever it is, just understand that it is far easier to get to millionaire status by increasing your earning potential rather than being scarcity minded and just thinking, oh, I'm going to save my way over the next 17 years. I'm just going to save my way to becoming a millionaire. Is that really an inspiring life to you? It doesn't work that way. Now, the next way to become a millionaire is to have a specific amount each week you put in a separate account to invest. In fact, I even know people who have made hundreds of millions of dollars and still lost it all. So it doesn't matter if you can become a millionaire if you can't even stay a millionaire. And investing, although it is slightly tedious and slightly not for everyone, this will help you get to that millionaire milestone even quicker. And this is something that I even apply to this day. But it wasn't always like that. I started off with $10 a week. I remember I was 17 years old when I first read Tony Robbins' Money Master. And after I read it, I created a separate bank account. This is like literally right as my business was first starting. So I had my main account and then I had my investment account. And every week for my main account, I would just send $1 over to my investment account because I knew that if I didn't get in the habit of putting away $1 a week, I would never get in the habit of, years and decades later, putting away hundreds of thousands of dollars a week into investments. So it's just about getting the habit down. Listen, in the same way, if you want to run a marathon, you're not going to lace up and run 40 kilometers. No, you're going to start off light. You're going to start off easy. And eventually, your capacity will grow in the same way your capacity to run grows. So, does your capacity to earn income and then go ahead and invest. Now, the next money tip for you to become a millionaire is to have coffee in affluent places. Go and have a coffee in an expensive hotel or a very fancy cafe in a super nice area. Listen, your Starbucks is going to cost $4 and it's not going to be very inspiring, that's for sure. Whereas you might go to a super expensive hotel. For example, here in the United States, there's all of these nice hotels. You don't have to stay at the hotels. You don't just spend $2,000 a night on a room. You simply go to the lobby and you have a coffee, and the coffee might cost you $8 or $10 compared to $4 at your local Starbucks. But you're going to look around, you're going to see money around you, you're going to see what wealthy people really wear. Not Louis Vuitton, not Gucci and Balenciaga and all this and that. I mean really wealthy people. You're going to realize that really wealthy people, they wear stuff like Loro Piana, Zegna, Brunello, Tom Ford, these sorts of brands. They want to blend in, they don't want big logos and this and that, they don't want to scream. So just simply through osmosis, you're going to start to get a feeling, you're going to start getting an understanding of how these people move. How do they carry themselves? The funny thing is that you're going to find a lot of good establishments, or at least I found personally, people are far more respectful to the waiters. There's a lot more, please, thank you, how was your day? You're very welcome. I've personally found that to be true, even though there's a stigma around rich people and wealthy people that they're snobs or, that they're very disrespectful to staff and whatnot. No way. I've personally never found that. I've personally found the better the establishment, The more polite people are, the more thank you. You're welcome. You know, a very interesting thing, in Paris, in Dubai, London, or New York, you might go to some very nice cigar lounges. And as I said, you can go to a cigar lounge and you can sit there and you can literally just order a coffee. You don't need to smoke a cigar and listen in. It's very interesting, even just hearing how wealthy people order, how they use their money. They order in a different way. They never say, keep the change. I'm serious. There's a conviction. They have a different tonality in the way that they order. They even have a different pace. No joke. The pacing of what they're saying is different than if you just go to some regular normal establishment. The next money tip for you to become a millionaire is pay off your credit card bills as soon as humanly possible. You need to understand that credit card debt is one of the ways that they enslave you. It is one of the ways that they get you stuck in a perpetual loop. You need to understand that if you get into credit card debt soon enough, you're going to be spending more money on the interest and the debt than the actual amount that you owe. So before you listen to any of these other tips, before you go and spend $8 on a coffee, you're going to have an experience of opulence and wealth around you and all this stuff. If you have credit card debt, clear that it should be your number one focus. Credit cards can be an exceptional asset to use, especially in a lot of Western countries and especially if you're based in the US. But you need to understand how to use it responsibly, how to get the benefits of it. Because, by the way, how do you think all these credit card companies make money when you have all of these signing bonuses? And, for example, with American Express or Capital One, you rack up all these points and you can use these points that you can use for benefits and upgrades and so on. Like, who do you think is paying for that? You need to understand that the people who are financially irresponsible and don't know how to use credit cards are making the credit card company so much money by all the interest they're paying. These people are subsidizing people like me and hopefully you. If you know how to use credit cards responsibly, they get to reap all of these rewards and all these benefits. And we're just sitting here questioning and asking ourselves, why are we getting all these benefits? And we basically don't even need to spend any extra money. Well, that's because all of those people were irresponsible. So please, if you have any credit card debt whatsoever, pay it off as soon as possible. The next money tip in order to become a millionaire is to invest in self-education. Now, listen, it doesn't matter if it's a book, I don't care if it's a seminar, if it's an online program, whatever it is. The way that I look at it is, let's say you spend $100. Let's say you spend $1,000. Let's say you spend even $10,000. Do you believe that if you even learn one thing from it, your capacity and your ability to earn income over the space of the next year, 2, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years will increase because of it? Let's say you want to learn one very specific skill that could help your career or your financial situation. You committed that you're going to become a person of value. You're going to become a person who can earn more money because they bring more value to the market, whether that is through a business solopreneur, through a career, whatever it is you choose. Sit there and ask yourself, do you back yourself? Because I believe when it comes to investing in yourself and investing in education, the simple fact of the matter is, do you believe that you are the sort of person that could get this information and make more money from it? I believe that the decision to invest in your education has far more to do with, do you believe in yourself than do you believe in the product, the program, the book, the event, the seminar, whatever it is. I think investing in self-education really comes down to yourself. Now, the last and final tip to become a millionaire is increase the percentages that you invest. So listen, if you are getting paycheck to paycheck, I don't want you to invest 50% of everything you make. But as time goes on, I want you to increase the percentage of your income that you invest. I believe that especially in your early 20s, you should be investing 70% of everything you make. As you get into your mid-20s, I believe 60% as you get into your late 20s, 50% of everything you make. Because I believe in enjoying life, but I also believe in being responsible and setting yourself up for the future. Be prepared for emergencies. That is my own philosophy. I don't want to be one of these people that has made egregious amounts of money and lost it all. But I also don't want to be one of these penny pinchers that makes all of this money and still lives frugal. And I personally just find it very off-putting. These people who think so small, You don't have to hoard all this money. I can't spend any of it. How could I? So you don't want to be either of these people. So once you get to a position where you're making like $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, $10,000 a month, maybe $25,000, $30,000 a month. I know these might sound like crazy numbers to you right now, but just mentally put that to the side, because it's totally possible for you too. All right, I'm not saying you need to make it today, but I know this might seem scary to you. I know it might seem impossible right now, but just mentally keep those sorts of earnings. Just understand that if you get to that point where you're earning this sort of income, once you start earning it, I want you to increase the percentage of your income that you're investing. Because the true financial goal is to eventually get to a place where you are living fully off of your dividends. You're living fully off your investment. And no matter what, if you stop making money tomorrow, you will always be fine. So ladies and gentlemen, these are the 7 money tips to become a millionaire. Please implement every single one of these as soon as you can. Don't wait. And understand, this is going to be a process that's not going to happen overnight. But while saying that, there's no such thing as getting rich quick. There's simply getting rich quicker. So focus on increasing the velocity in which money comes to you, as well as the velocity in which you invest money in order to multiply it. But also understand that this is a process. This is a journey to just take the first step. And on that note, I'm going to be looking for other good ideas for you. Because you want financial freedom, I'll invite you to press that like button and do not hesitate to explore my playlist for more advice on how to get financial freedom. And I'll see you in the next video.